You pick up your phone. You didn't decide to. Your thumb just moved. There was no notification, no buzz. Nothing happened at all. But the real reason is far stranger than boredom or habit. Your brain is running code that is millions of years old, and that code was never built for a glowing rectangle. It was built for something else entirely. Something that, until very recently, could kill you. Think about the last time you checked your phone for no reason. You weren't expecting a message. You weren't waiting on anything important. You just felt a pull, a tiny itch in the back of your mind that said, check now. Where did that itch come from? To understand it, you have to go back. Not a few decades, not a few centuries. You have to go back to the savannah. For most of human history, your ancestors lived in small groups, scattered across open grassland. Survival depended on information, not entertainment, information. Where is the food? Where is the water? Who moved into the territory overnight? Is that rustling in the grass a friend, a stranger, or a predator? The humans who paid close attention to small changes in their environment lived longer. The ones who ignored small signals sometimes didn't get a second chance. So evolution did what it always does. It rewarded the trait that kept people alive. And the trait was vigilance. Constant, low-level scanning of the environment for anything new. This is called novelty-seeking behavior, and it isn't a personality quirk. It's wired into a part of your brain called the amygdala, working alongside your dopamine system. The amygdala is your brain's alarm and alertness center. Dopamine is the chemical that drives you to seek things out, not the chemical that rewards you afterward. As many people assume, here's the part that surprises most people. Dopamine doesn't spike when you get the reward. It spikes when you anticipate the possibility of one. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz demonstrated this in a now famous series of experiments with primates in the 1990s. He found that dopamine neurons fired most strongly not when an animal received a reward, but when the reward was uncertain. When the animal didn't know if something good was coming, dopamine activity spiked higher than when the outcome was guaranteed. Uncertainty itself was the trigger, not the prize, the possibility of a prize. Now think about your phone. Every time you unlock it, you don't know what you'll find. Maybe a message, maybe nothing. Maybe something that makes you laugh, or something that makes you anxious. Your brain doesn't know in advance, and that uncertainty is exactly the condition that made your ancestors' brains light up when they heard a rustle in the grass. It might be nothing. It might be a snake. Better check. It might be nothing. It might be someone you like texting you. Better check. Same circuit, different rustle. There's a second piece to this puzzle, and it comes from a psychologist named B.F. Skinner. In the 1950s, Skinner ran experiments on pigeons using a device that delivered food pellets when the pigeon pressed a lever. He tried different patterns of reward. Sometimes the pigeon got food every time it pressed the lever. Sometimes it got food only occasionally, on no fixed schedule at all. Guess which pigeons pressed the lever more and kept pressing it longer, even after the food stopped coming entirely? The ones on the random schedule? The unpredictable one. This is called a variable ratio reinforcement schedule, and it produces the most persistent, hardest to break behavior of any reward pattern ever studied. It's the same mechanism that makes slot machines so effective. You don't win every time. You don't even win most of the time. But you might, and that might is enough to keep your hand moving toward the lever, again and again. Your phone runs on a variable ratio schedule. Every notification, every scroll, every refresh is a pull on the lever. Sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes something does. You never know which it'll be, so you keep pulling. But here's where it gets stranger. This isn't something that was forced onto you by accident. Researchers and former tech insiders have described, in detail, how features like the pull to refresh gesture and infinite scroll were deliberately designed to mimic the exact psychological structure of a slot machine. The unpredictability isn't a side effect. It's the engine. So you have two ancient systems running at once. A vigilance system built to scan for danger and opportunity in the environment, and a reward anticipation system built to chase uncertain outcomes, because uncertain outcomes once meant survival information. Neither system knows it's the 21st century. Neither system knows the environment is now a 6-inch screen. There's a third layer to this, and it's maybe the strangest one. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar spent years studying the social structures of primates and early human groups. He found that humans evolved in social groups of a relatively limited size, somewhere around 150 people, a number now often called Dunbar's number. Within that group, knowing what everyone else was doing wasn't gossip. It was survival. Who was trustworthy? Who was a threat? Who had resources? Who was angry at whom? This information shaped alliances, and alliances kept you alive. Your brain still runs this software. It still wants to know what's happening in your social world, constantly, in the background, all the time. Except now, your social world isn't 150 people in a valley. It's thousands of people on a screen. posting updates about their lives every few minutes. Your brain treats each one of those updates the way it once treated a piece of news about your tribe. New information, process it, file it, stay current. Except there's no end to it. The tribe used to have a fixed size. The information used to run out, now it doesn't. The river never stops, and your brain was never built to stop drinking from it. Put it all together, and the pull to check your phone isn't a character flaw. It isn't weakness, or laziness, or a lack of discipline. It's three separate ancient systems, each one individually useful for millions of years, all firing at once, all aimed at a device that was engineered in part to trigger exactly that firing pattern. Your vigilance system sees the phone as the grass that might be rustling. Your dopamine system sees the phone as the lever that might pay out. Your social tracking system sees the phone as your tribe, never sleeping, always updating. None of these systems are wrong, exactly. They're just answering a question nobody is asking anymore. Is it safe? Is it worth it? Is my tribe okay? So tonight, when you feel that pull, that little itch to check, try noticing it instead of obeying it. Not to fight it, just to see it for what it is. A signal from a brain built for a world without phones, reacting to a world that was built very precisely to feel like the world it was made for. You didn't decide to pick up your phone, but now you know who did.